Hi guys, and welcome back to my tutorials for my Patreons. So this session, I thought I would go through this fantastic resource called Line of Action. If you haven't heard of it before, essentially it is a wealth of reference photos that you can kind of tailor to the length of time in which they display on the screen in order to help yourself sort of learn gesture drawing, perhaps use it as a warm-up session, and ultimately practice your drawing skills in a sort of set window of time. You have so many different options on here. It's fantastic. You can say pick figure study, animals, face and expression, hands and feet, scenes and environments, and 360-degree views. So as an animal specialist, I'm going to choose the animal section today, and I'll go through how this works so that you can give it a go too. So you start off with the category. Essentially, you can pick what it is that you want to draw. Now, some people, for example, might want to, do a drawing session specifically on equines. Some people might want to do reptiles and amphibians. There are so many options on here, and ultimately there are about 1,000 images altogether that are stored on this kind of database. So if you do pick all, you get access to all 998 images. For example, if you want to draw only mammals, you'll get 609 images. If you want to say no insects, you get 924. So there's about 1,000 images on here, and ultimately you can rule out areas that you might not be interested in. For example, if you don't want to draw any insects, you can say no insects. And that's great. It gives you basically a wealth of images to play with. It's very unlikely you're going to end up in the same session drawing the same image multiple times, which is great. So it gives you lots of practice. So I'm going to go with no insects today, and hopefully that includes arachnids as well, because I appreciate some people might be afraid of spiders. I know that there may be snakes as well, so if you do have a phobia, that's something to be aware of. Birds as well, I know people might be frightened of those. So I'm going to pick no insects today, specifically to rule out stuff like arachnids. Hopefully that should be fine. It won't be a long session today, but that's basically the level of flexibility you have with this program. Now you can go on to this next section, which is skeleton. So if you do want to include skeletons, you can click include skeletons, which will basically be, full skeletons of an animal that you are going to draw. Or you can even click only live animals. Now I'm going to click this one today again because people might not want to see skeletons. I'm just doing this for the tutorial purposes, but yeah, you have a lot of kind of ability to change and adjust things as you go, which is awesome. Now, here's what makes this website amazing, because you can either pick sessions with all the photos at the same length, or you can have class mode. So when you pick all the same length, you get to choose the time interval. So this is how long the reference photo will be visible on your screen. Now, I think this website's particularly good for doing really short sessions, because then not short sessions, but short intervals, because I think it really encourages you to put those shapes down quickly and just not get too bogged down by the details, because I think the longer you get, the more kind of perfectionism kicks in, and ultimately you will end up having a session which you might get really focused, spending 10 minutes on one pose, and I think it's good. This is my resource for encouraging people to draw quickly and to build up those skills without getting too bogged down by perfectionism of the details. But there is the option there to do longer sessions if you choose to. So you also have class mode. Essentially, it's broken down into how long you have for the drawing class, the drawing session. So for example, if you're hosting a drawing class with people, you might choose, let's do 6 hours. We're going to draw this whole time. And this is how it kind of breaks down into 10 poses, 30 seconds, 5 poses, 1 minute, 2 poses, 5 minutes, so on and so forth. And then it gives you breaks as well. So it actually incorporates that into kind of an actual class, if you are teaching drawing or something, you're getting everyone to work at the same time, this is a fantastic option. If, say, do you know what, I've only got 30 minutes to draw, I can pick 30 minutes and it's broken down into 10 poses, 30 seconds, 5 poses at 1 minute, 2 poses, 5 minutes, 1 pose at 10 minutes. So it's completely adjustable. Obviously, I think this is kind of capped out at how much you can do with the class mode, but if you want to pick all the same length, you could have 10 minutes and you could just keep that going until you've run out of images. It's fully flexible and I think it's awesome. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click 30 seconds, all classes, all images at the same length, and I'm going to get jump on into drawing at the same time. So how I'm doing this, I've got this screen recording so you can see the references as I go. I've got my overhead camera set up and ready to record as well. So I'll do some magic in kind of post-production to make sure that they all kind of seamless and that you can see me drawing at the same time as the references. So I'm going to get everything set up, I'm going to press go, and then we will jump straight into the drawing side. So I'll see you in a second. Right, so when you're ready, all you have to do is press that get drawing button and you'll start seeing your references. So I'm going to click that and I'm going to show you one extra thing that's really helpful about this thing if you are getting kind of stuck on a reference or you don't like the reference. I don't encourage this because I think we should be trying to draw everything. But for example, if you go, do you know what, I'm not a massive fan of that reference, you can go down to the bottom and you can press next image. And you can keep doing that until you've got something, perhaps a reference that you're more happy with. But ultimately, this is the point of this process is to really kind of get to grips with drawing quickly and drawing anything quickly and learning to build shapes regardless of what that reference is. So you also have the power to stop. So you can press the stop button and you can say, yes, you can go back to where you were before if you want to adjust, say, the times, or you can even pause. So this is getting to the 30-second mark. We'll start again with this new one. And if you are feeling like, do you know what, this is just too quick for me, you can press pause. And ultimately that stops the timer. So it is super flexible. I do encourage to not kind of tinker with it too much, just get stuck in and really practice those drawings. And just go with the flow. Don't get too bogged down by the details. Just go with the flow and really kind of embrace the images that are going to pop up. So we'll start off with the next one because the timer started counting down too quickly. And I'm going to show you how I go about drawing these references as I go. I've press play to get the timer counting down again. I'm going to skip to the next one and I'm going to get cracking with this frog. So I'm going to start off with a big circle shape, a couple of circles, get that lines in. I'm just building up these shapes super quickly, throwing in the arm, bearing in mind that this is not going to be a finished drawing. And that's kind of the point. You're just throwing in these shapes in super quickly and you're just kind of getting used to how to place things. So super quick. Now onto the mandrill. Again, just throwing in a circle for his face and his shoulders, getting in the eyes. It's kind of interesting seeing these shapes come up. This is very fast paced, and I think maybe 30 seconds might not be for people who are, say, perhaps new to drawing, but it is a really great way of getting in those details super quick. And then as you get on, you might find that this is just for warm-ups. It doesn't have to be anything more than that. Just putting a nose, putting the eyes. I bogged in too much into the face there. You can see I might not have enough time to do the rest. So it's just about throwing in these shapes, doing the legs, doing the tummy. And bearing in mind that all you're doing, you might only be able to put the lines in and just get that structure in really quickly. So we got a bird. Bring in that face. Big circle for the body. So I'm really not paying too much attention to getting the specifics in. Mainly because there's no time to do that, and you don't get bogged down by the detail, and all you're doing is gesture drawing. So you can be really quick with it, and ultimately just kind of enjoy the process of doing things really quickly. So it's all about getting in the shape of the animal in a short space of time. Don't worry about them overlapping. So I've got this line of action here because he's quite bogged in. Bring this up so you can see. But yeah, I am not paying attention to drawing everything super well. And that's the benefit of it, is that you're not drawing things perfectly. You're just warming up, and you're getting your eye in. I think that's the main thing, is about getting your eye in and ultimately drawing things so quickly you don't have time to kind of worry about the kind of the specifics. So do play with it. I'm just going to fill out this page and then kind of finish, so we're not kind of getting too bogged in. Just a warm up to give you an idea of how this program works. We've got space for one more down here. And I'm just filling up a page of, you know, images. And I'm just sticking kind of with the outline of the fish. I'm not going into details at all, or actually any of the animals. I'm kind of just doing the outlines. It can feel a bit rushed, and I think that might, you know, I find that kind of anxiety inducing. So do be mindful if you find yourself getting a bit too stressed about it. You know, it's not mandatory that you practice in this way. It's absolutely not mandatory. It's just a technique that I found to be really helpful, especially if you're learning new things. So you can see I'm honestly just going kind of nuts with it. I'm just going, filling in wherever there's a slight semblance of space, and I'm not worrying too much about the specifics of it. And the more you do it, you know, maybe you want to start off with longer sessions, and that's fine. Of course, that's fine. If you want to do 10-minute per pose, go for it. You know, you do whatever session you want, and that's the beauty of this kind of tool, is that it is completely flexible. I'm just going to do one more, and with a little noodle who's actually a really funny shape. Let's get him down here with his little face, like so. Bring up that body here, his tail's wrapped around. It's really good for getting you to think about placing shapes and ultimately just practicing. So there we have it. Really simple gesture drawings. Might drawing another snake. Typical two snakes come up right at the end, for anybody who is wary of snakes. So yeah, I'm not putting at all any really kind of intense detail in this. And now that I've finished my thing, I've just spent, 5 minutes. It's felt very little time at all. I'm going to press the stop, press exit. And did I enjoy it? I did. You can have the option of subscribing to Line of Action as well to get kind of a few extra benefits. But there you have it. There you have this kind of really rapid tool to help you learn how to draw animals. You can use it for people as well. Ultimately, what you want to do is be as quick as possible with getting those shapes down, if that's your thing. Obviously, if you want to take longer, please take longer. If you find it too stressful, and I mean this, put yourself first. You know, there will come a time where the 30-second intervals are fine for you, but that doesn't have to be every single time. That doesn't have to be your, the way you start off. You can do 10-minute intervals if that would make it easier for you. So do be kind to yourself, and put yourself first, and you will get there. You will get to the 30 seconds. And I mean, look at this. None of these are expert drawings. That's not what this is about. This is literally about practicing and getting the shapes in quickly. And ultimately, the more you do it, the quicker you might get. But do feel free to do whatever time interval suits you. I would love to see what you come up with for this line of action lesson. So do feel free to share in the comments. Let me know what kind of things you'd like to learn. Was this helpful for you? Do you like this idea? Any feedback, comments at all will be greatly appreciated. So I will see you again in the next tutorial. So for now, guys, have a great time and I'll speak to you soon. Bye bye.